Dear friend, consultant engineers, electricians, wiremen, foremen, etc., the workforce of electrical engineering. This particular series is for internal electrical wiring installations. So enjoy. Once again, this is VK Jain sir ki MEP classes. The electrical wiring refers to process of distributing electrical power through wires in a manner that is optimized to meet the electrical as well as economic requirement of certain locations. It is connected to electrical supply methodologically to ensure no interruption in the power supply. This approach forms the foundation of modern electrical wiring and supports the safe flow of electric across different environments. Electrical wiring is the method through which electricity is carried from main power source to different points within a building. It forms a structured wiring system where conductors are arranged to distribute power safely and efficiently. This arrangement allows electricity to reach such as sockets, lighting points, and appliances without interruptions. The way this system works depends upon type of wiring system used. Different layouts and materials are chosen based on size of the building, safety needs, and usage requirement. As a result, there are different type of wiring systems seen across residential and commercial spaces. Understanding the wiring means the working of electrical wiring helps in identifying how power is controlled, directed, and maintained through various types wiring in electrical installations. Friends, various type of wiring systems exist, but let me tell you from the beginning itself that about 90% cases it is either through conduit system or for bigger sizes it is in raceways and busways. We are not discussing raceways and busways in this series. The first and the cheapest method of wiring is cleat wiring. What cleat wiring is adapted to in case of temporary wiring for a very short time. Say in marriages, we create Baratgar and other places for marriage where we do wiring for short time and demolish the entire system. The type of wiring to be adapted is dependent on various factors: durability, safety, appearances, and cost consumer's budget. Cleat wiring, this system used with insulated cable and protected in porcelain cleats. The cleats are drilled like this. These are the cleats, and these are drilled through screws on the system. So the cleats can be two-way or three-way type to take two wire or three wires. And the root of the cleat may be something like this. Friends, the cleat wiring is recommended only for temporary installations. The cleats are made in pairs having bottom and top halves. The bottom half is grooved to receive the wire and top half is for cable grip. Initially, the bottom and top cleats are fixed on the wall loosely according to layout. Then the cable is drawn, tensioned, and the cleats are tightened by a screw. Clips are of three types, having one, two, or three grooves, so as to receive one, two, or three wires. Two types of cleats where the cleat wiring is laid along an iron joist. Porcelain cleats shall be inserted either with varnished wood fillets or varnished wood clamps, securely fixed so as to prevent the conductors from coming in contact with the metal along with which they are passing. Fixing of cleats. Cleats shall be attached to wooden plugs fixed on the walls. Friends, the cleat may be designed for carrying two wires or three wires. The cleat is in two halves, the upper and lower. The lower half is engraved through a wooden peg in case of wiring on wall, directly on wall. As per National Building Code 2016 or Bureau of Indian Standard recommends for cleat wiring with certain specifications. This system shall not be employed for wiring on damp walls or ceiling unless precautions are adopted for efficiently preventing dampness and thus the deterioration of the insulation of the conductor. Cleat wiring shall be run as far as possible, practicable so as to be visible in positions where they would be liable to be mechanical injury and where they are less than 1.5 above the floor. They shall be adequately protected. For voltage up to 250 volts, cleats shall be of such a dimension that in case of branch loads, conductors shall not be less than 2.5 centimeter apart, center to center, and in case of submains, not less than 4 cm apart, center to center. Care should be taken in selecting the size of cleats, particularly for branch distribution wiring where two-way and three-way porcelain cleats are essential and difference in size shall be reasonable. Care should be taken to ensure that grooves of porcelain cleats are essential and in difference in size shall be reasonable. Care should also be taken to ensure that grooves of porcelain cleats don't compress the insulation nor be too wide to lose fit. Advantages of cleat wiring. The cleat wiring is simple and cheap with respect to cost. Most suitable for temporary use, that is under construction, building or army camping, or in case of marriages, mandap erected for erected in gardens. As the cables and wires of cleat wiring system is in open air, therefore fault in cable can be seen and repaired easily. Cleat wiring system installation is easy and simple. Customization can be easily done in this wiring system, that is alteration and addition. Inspection is easy and simple. Friends, the disadvantages of cleat wiring will be discussed here. First, appearance is not so good. Cleat wiring cannot be used for permanent use because Sag may occur after some time of the usage. In this wiring system, the cables and wiring is in open air. Therefore, oil, steam, humidity, smoke, rain, chemical, and acidic effect may damage the cable wires. It is not lasting wire system because of the weather effect, risk of fire and wear and tear. It can be used only in 250 volts of three-phase 440 volt system on low temperature. There is always a risk of fire and electrical shock. It can always be used in important and sensitive locations and places. It cannot be used, sorry. It is not lasting in life, reliable and sustainable wiring system. Friends, the second type of wiring system, which is also cheaper, is batten wiring, either CTS or TRS type. Single core or double core or three core tough rubber sheathed TRS cables with a circular oval shape cables are used in this kind of wiring. Mostly single core cable are preferred. TRS cable are chemical proof, waterproof, steam proof, but are slightly affected by lubricating oil. The TRS cable are run on well seasoned and straight teak wood batten with at least a thickness of 10 mm. Now the clad wiring system goes like this. Uh, the there is a batten, wood batten, and clips are used to tie up the cable on the batten, and this is how they are taking turn differently. The cables are held on the wood button by means of tin brass link clips, buckle clips, already fixed on the button with brass pins and spaced at interval of 10 cm for horizontal runs and 15 centimeters for vertical runs. This shows a button and the brass clips. Friends, let us discuss the advantages of button wiring. Wiring installation is simple and easy. Second, cheap as compared to other electrical wiring system. Third, paraphrase is good and beautiful. Repairing is easy. It is strong and long lasting. Customization can be easily done in this wiring system. Less chance of leakage current in the button wiring system. Let us take the disadvantages of button wiring. Can't be installed in humidity, chemical effects, open and outdoor areas, high risk of fires, not safe from external wear and tear and weather conditions because the wires are openly visible to heat, dust, steam and smoke. Heavy wires cannot be used in button wiring system. Only suitable below the 250 volts, need more cables and wires. Friends, the third type of casing and keeping wiring system, they were obsolete now, but they were highly used in previous wiring system, mostly in CPW practice for residential flats up to type 1 to 4. uh, type in type 1 to 3, the casing and caping wiring system was adopted due to its lower cost. Now, caping wire was famous in past only and considered obsolete these days because of conduit and sheathed wiring system adopted. The cable used in this kind of wiring were of either VIR or PVC or any other approved insulated cable. The cable were carried through the wooden casing enclosure. The casing is made up of a strip of. The casing is shown is here. This is, and this is the capping. The casing is grooved and carries the wires, and capping um, is put over it to make casing concealed. The groove were made to separate as opposite polarity wires. The capping, also made of the wood, was used to cover the wires and cable installed and fitted in the casing. All casing shall be of first class seasoned teak wood or any other approved hardwood free from knots, shakes, saps and other defects, with all the side planned to a smooth finish and all sides were varnished, both inside and outside, and pure shellac varnish. The casing can also the casing shall have a grooved body as shown here. This slide shows you Frank's casing and caping system. This is the casing in angle, and this is the caping which will cover this wiring system. We have already discussed. Friends, this slide shows various type of joints made in the casing caping system. The first one is a straight joint. When the length exceeds, a joint has to be made straight straight way. There are two methods shown here. The second is T joint. When we take a T turn, the next one is corner joint. There can be cross joints of two different type. So straight type joint this, T type joint is this, right angle joint is this can be corner joint, then T bridge joint and cross bridge joint. Friends, we are discussing advantages of casing caping wiring. First, cheap. Second, strong and long lasting. Third, customization can be easily done in this wiring system. If phase and neutral wire is installed in the separate slot, then repairing is easy. It stays for a long time in the field due to strong insulation of casing and caping system. It stays safe from oil, steam, smoke and run. No risk of electrical shock. Disadvantages: there is a high risk of fire in casing caping, not suitable in acidic, alkali and humidity conditions, costly repairing and need more material. Material cannot be found easily in contemporary atmosphere. White tanks may damage the casing caping system. Friends, now we are discussing fourth category of wiring system, that is lead sheathed wiring. The type of wiring implies Conductors that are insulated with VIR and covered with an outer sheath of lead alloy, aluminum alloy containing about 95% of the lead. The metal sheath, the outer, this one is metal sheath. The metal sheath gives protection to cables from mechanical damage, moisture and atmospheric corrosion. The whole lead covering is made electrically continuous and is connected to earth at the point of entry to protect against electrolytic action due to leaking current and to provide safety in case of sheath becomes alive. Now this system is fastened to the wall with screwed clipping. Friends, the sheathing material is entirely impervious to water and has a high level of durability. When there is a need of both high levels of mechanical strength and resistance to moisture, one option is to utilize combination of lead sheet and armor. In most cases, lead sheathed cable are utilized in environment consisting of underground ducts and moist region. Lead also has a low melting point as compared to other. Since lead is malleable, it is able to survive the numerous coiling in the wiring system, coiling and uncoiling, handling and winding operations that are involved in the final stages of cable manufacturing and installation. Lead sheath can also be used without insulation and can be used in high length, but it has got the drawback that it may give shock if the sheath is broken. Without a proper insulating layer, exposed wire can cause dangerous short circuit and current leakage. This, leak, this leakage not only wastes electrical energy but also increases the fire hazard due to overheating or sparking. Friends, the fifth type of wiring system is a conduit wiring, and this occupies over 95% of wiring system in India as well as in foreign. There are two types of conduit wiring system that may exist: surface conduit wiring or concealed conduit wiring. If conduits are installed on roof or wall, it is known as surface conduit wiring system, and this may be done in the over the walls also. In this wiring method, they make holes on the surface of wall on equal distances and conduit is installed with the help of roll plugs. Concealed conduit wiring, if the conduit is hidden inside the wall slots with the help of plastering, it is called concealed conduit wiring. In other words, the electrical wiring inside floor with the help of plastic or metallic piping is called concealed wiring. Obviously, this is most popular, beautiful, stronger and common electrical wiring system nowadays. In general, a conduit is defined as a tube or channel inside which wires are taken. Tubular conduit is the most commonly used material in electrical installation. When cables are drawn through the conduit and terminated at the outlet of such point, the system of wiring is called conduit wiring. Now, this figure at the bottom shows non-metallic conduit wiring taking its route. and it is terminated in a point wiring system, or it can be taken for appliances. Here, it this is metallic conduit wiring, and here these plug sockets are mounted. We'll see further. Friends, in this particular slide, I am showing you four different type of conduit that that are used for wiring purposes. First one is rigid steel conduit. Now it may be steel conduit, it may be GI conduit or stainless steel conduit. These may be flexible steel conduit type as shown here. This one. Then rigid non-metallic conduit. Now these are rigid non-metallic conduit. And the fourth category is flexible non-metallic conduit. Dear friends, we are discussing now PVC fittings and their accessories. Uh, there are six type of accessories. One is coupler. This is coupler. Elbow. This is elbow. Sorry, elbow. This one is bend. Then we have the T. This is T. Then we have circular boxes. They can be junction boxes like this. There can be circular junction box and rectangular boxes like this. The first one is a coupler. Now coupler is with inspection type of system in which you can see the wiring type. We'll see the difference between different fittings. Friends, this figure shows a elbow and elbow with the inspection box. Now difference in bends and elbow is that an elbow is a standard short radius pipe fitting, usually one diameter to two diameter for fixed angle 90° or 45, offering compactness but creating turbulence, while a bend is a broader term for any curved pipe section, often custom made with a much larger radius. For example, the radius may be 3D plus, resulting in a smoother flow but requiring more space. So this slide shows you the band and banks with the inspection bar. Circular boxes are provided for carrying wire in all the four directions. In some cases like this, in some cases it may be like this, like this, like this, or it can be like this, or it can be like this. Friends, we have to quite often provide junction boxes, and it may be junction box for thorough wiring, it may be angle box, or it may be a T-type box. In all these three cases, the box is openable. Friend, this box shows a junction box from in which circuits are coming from both the ways and going down or up. Then sometime for changing the direction, we may use this type of system or this type of system. In case of recess conduit, we have a system of conduit going in the chase cut in the wall. Now this can be after the construction has been done, construction of wall has been done, or it can be anarchally method in which you put a junction box for point box, and through this the the conduit is coming from the top through the slab. It is coming from slab and going like this. So vertical conduit dropping to a point switchboard in second stage of recess conduit system. There are two stages. In the first stage, the conduit is laid in the slab, actual ceiling, and in the second stage, the cut is made and the conduit is brought down. Friends, this is what I was talking in the first stage. When building is getting constructed, we go on constructing different floor slab, and afterward we bring the conduit downward to the point box. It may be fan regulator box or point wiring box. You can bring the conduit in second stage and loop it also, but this portion of conduit is laid down in the first stage itself. Friends, this also shows the accessories used in conduiting system. There may be channel type inspection T, channel type inspection elbow, a T connection, a straight through connection, and circular type inspection elbow, or one terminal and terminal box. Several these accessories are used. Now, dear friends, we'll discuss the advantage of conduit wiring system. It is the safest wiring system. Appearance is very beautiful in case of concealed conduit wiring. No risk of mechanical wear and tear and fire in case of metallic pipes. Customization can be easily done according to future needs. Repairing and maintenance is easy. There is no risk of the damage to the cables. It is safe from corrosion. It can be used even in humidity, chemical effect or smoky areas. No risk of electrical shock. It is reliable and popular wiring system. It is sustainable and long-lasting wiring system. Friends, I am putting forward the disadvantage of conduit wiring system. It is expensive wiring system due to PVC and metallic pipe, additional earthing for metallic pipes and elbows. Very hard to find the defects in the wiring. Installation is not easy and simple. Risk of electrical shock in case of metallic pipe without proper earthing and grounding system. Very complicated to manage additional connection in the future. Comparison between, that's all. Friends, now we are talking the sixth type of internal wiring system, that is known as through the cable, uh, through the PVC channels. These channels are manufactured as per Indian standard 14927 part 2, and they are available in different sizes: 16 by 16, 20 by 12, 25 by 12, 25 by 16, 32 by 12, 32 by 16, and so on. PVC channels are meant for managing cable of different type. They may be fire cable, there can be wiring cable, wiring and power separate. There can be other type of wiring for communication system, networking system. So they have one, two, three, four way, or this is six way, and in all these cases, the height is limited, uh, and they can go under the false floor also. Friends, the PVC wiring can be unslotted type as shown here, or slotted type as shown here. The slots are provided for taking out the heat inside. Friends, the PVC channels may be used for different for carrying out different type of wiring system. There may be light wiring, telephone wiring, and fire, and they have usually a cross-sectional area like this. This slide also shows different type of PVC coverings. The PVC or metallic pipe can be utilized for light point wiring and carrying the socket outlets also. So 2 into 4 square mm wire along with earthing will go inside these. These are available in different category, but in the uh, last two categories, you have a built-in switch and you have a built-in plug socket, plug for taking connection. Friends, the National Building Code 2016 and some Indian standards provide this type of uh, conduit sizing tables, which shows the size of the cable and number and diameter of cable, and in the third column it shows the straight and bend portion, current carrying capacity of conduit, particular conduit size. So I'll illustrate one. This 6 means you can take 6 number 2.5 square mm wiring in a straight run, whereas in the bands it is limited by 2. You can take only 2 wires. This is how the table is used. Friends, this diagram shows the bus ducting system employed for carrying several power plug, and a feeder also can be taken away. What we are not discussing in detail here. The bus ducting system can be utilized to feed several power plug just above the floor in office wiring. Friends, the bus ducting can be utilized for several different type of purpose. You can fit a fitting, floodlight fitting, and move it along the ducting. The duct carries number of buses, three phase or single phase, and neutral, and even earthing wire can be taken inside. Thanks, my dear friends, for listening and viewing this presentation carefully and peacefully. Thanks once again.